cosplayers. Cosplayers are different type of people that you would normally see at anime conventions or comic book or video game conventions. What are they exactly? Well, they're people who dress up in costume, or the word cosplay is costume play. As you may notice, this is a special episode of Mission Start Podcast done in an inspirational way of A Life Well Wasted by Robert Ashley, which of course and if he's somehow out there, like please do more of that. I love podcast. But anyways, aside from my dick sucking, this is a special podcast, majority on cosplayers and the culture of it, because for many years since anime conventions started, cosplayers has always been the type of people who would dress up in their counterparts of anime or video games, showing off, the tremendous amount of work they put into their costumes to show how much dedicated fans they are to a certain series. Majority of them just do it out of fun, and I totally agree with that. As a cosplayer myself, I do it for fun as well. I don't, there are a few times where, yes, I look at another cosplayer and it's like, damn, he's an awesome cosplayer. He makes my cosplay look like ass. Or at times where I look over and there's like somebody who tried to cosplay, but there's always something wrong proportionally, or just something off about the costume that I can't help but point out in my mind. Well, enough about my adventures and what I think about cosplayers. Cosplayers, without anime convention, we wouldn't be out there showing what we can do, the sewing and the materials we make from scratch, from cardboard and other materials that we can find around the ground to use. And in that case, conventions like the new one in Sacramento, Decepticon, they are always, leaps and bounds, always fun to go to. And talking with the guys at Decepticon, this is how my interview with them went, and as far as what they are setting up for potentially, as they put it, the best anime convention in Sacramento. Alright, I want to first say thank you for taking the time with us for this interview.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I'd like to ask a few questions. First of all, what are you guys like? I know you guys are Team Love Hate, but can you explain to us what exactly you guys do?
What does Team Love Hate do?
Say again?
What does Team Love Hate do?
Yes.
Oh, we do it all, man. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Let me in my car. All right. So you in this Luis? All right, cool. All right, Anthony, I got Luis. It's me and Luis right now. You asking about Team Love Hate?
Yeah.
Well, we started out as a car crew that drove around with Itasha, and we did a couple conventions and a bunch of car shows. We did that for about a year and a half, and then we started getting into lots of charity work. So trying to balance out car shows and charity work. So it keeps us even keel. And, and we ran into Luis, and he had this idea about doing this new con, and we were going to do something different that had never been done before, so that's kind of our MO, and we jumped on it.
Awesome. Who was the first to come up with the idea of this type of convention?
Oh, that would be Luis.
Luis? Cool.
Uh-huh. Luis?
Luis, what is your initial thoughts when he brought this idea up to you?
Well, when the idea first came about, it was actually me that started this up and threw the idea out there. And what I was aiming for is to give not only Sacramento, but all of Northern California and even the West Coast something that hasn't been offered to us before. I mean, there have been talks, but never any action. So naturally, when I approached Jazel and the rest of Love Hate, I was really, really enthusiastic about all the work that they've done before, and just thought that it would go hand in hand in bringing them on to this endeavor of ours now.
Awesome, sweet. And from what I've seen so far, the amount of work you guys have put it into, it looks really great, and you're getting a lot of hype, and there's a lot of people clamoring for this convention to happen this year.
Thank you. That's kind of what we're going for.
Nice. What are some of the challenges so far you guys have to face in making this convention happen this year?
Well, I would say one of the biggest challenges for putting on a convention is just simply, the simplest things is getting the word out. Because without the people, there is no convention, really. I mean, you could have a venue, you could have a place, you can do all the advertising you want, but if people don't show up, it was all for nothing. So I think just really getting the word out to letting people know the information, giving them that, and letting them know, like, hey, this is here, this is what we're offering, it's very different, it's not been done before, you have to be a part of it. That's what makes this all worthwhile.
That is awesome to hear. What are, and this is kind of self-promoting, but what are the differences in your convention compared to other conventions out there? Like, what would you say to a fan, say, these are the things we're going to have that not the other conventions are not going to have?
The biggest thing that we're going to offer that no other convention has offered is, three things. One is television coverage. It's only been done fairly recently. Only one other convention has done it, and that's been, of course, Comic-Con. And they've only done that just recently. The second piece is that we will be streaming this online, too, for the rest of the world to see. And thirdly, is that not only are we catering to the traditional age group, the 10-year-olds and up, but we're also catering to the graduated class of individuals who grew up in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, with all of those animations and all that pop culture, and giving them their spotlight too. And that was one of the key things that I think Jazel appreciated the most, is that we're also catering to the older generation that grew up with this, who's fueled this everything that we love today. All the anime, all the manga, all the comics, all the movies, all the video games you see today have been fueled by the older generation individuals who were inspired in the last couple of decades.
Wow, that's the first time I heard you say anything about being televised worldwide or streaming online. That is pretty daunting. I mean, how do you guys add so much to this convention? And I know you guys still work on it and still want to pull it off, but like, does the pressure or does the amount of work you guys doing like hit you like one day, or like, like just so much on the plate that you don't know if you're gonna be able to pull it off or not?
Well, that kind of goes without saying. If you don't dream big, you're not dreaming at all.
Right.
And I've been attending conventions for decades now. Actually, yes, I've been attending them decades, and I've worked with conventions, not your traditional anime gaming conventions, but I used to work with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce here, and I helped them out. So it's not really new to me what goes into a convention. That was one of my previous lives. My other previous life was I worked for the big company GameStop, and I worked with them, and I was very familiar with their conventions. So when we're talking about putting on a convention like this and putting on such huge tasks in front of us, I guess you can say I've been somewhat really prepared for it already. And so the only thing that really challenges me is just simply making sure that everyone is taken care of, because that in itself it is a huge task. And I think Jazel would agree with me that making sure that every show and charity that he's been to, that he's always wanted to make sure that everyone is taken care of. I don't know, Jazel, does that sound about right?
Yeah. this whole con thing is a really daunting task. We don't get much sleep. We're constantly either meeting with somebody or trying to set something up or trying to figure out a new way to put a spin on an old thing. So between Luis and I and the other guys from Love Hate, it's been pretty intense, but we're having a good time building something. When there isn't a formula or there aren't any rules, it becomes really exciting because we can have whatever we want at this convention, and that's what makes us so different. We're not stuck with a formula. We're making our own. So hopefully after April 17th, people are going to reevaluate the way they carry themselves and the way they put on a convention, because some of the things that we're going to be doing are like Guinness Book of World Records crazy. Like, it's never been done. It's like we are going to create our own piece of history, and, you know, I'm going to leave my mark before I die. Like, people are going to know that me and Luis, Luis is something totally different, and, you know, we're going to see what happens.
Awesome. You guys are putting out a huge effort into making this happen, and so far, like, people have been cramming for it, like I said. What are you trying to accomplish with this convention? Like, what is the main goal you want a fan to walk away after going to this convention?
Rule the world. That's me, Jazel, personally. I would like to rule the world after this con.
All I want for people to have and take away from this convention is to leave with, oh my God, that was epic. That I have zero words. I have to see what they do next year. I have to.
Yeah. We want them to tell their friends that we missed out. The people that didn't come because, you know, they went somewhere else or they weren't sure, missed out. You know, you should have came. You know, and there's going to be lots of video on YouTube of the con after that weekend. I guarantee it.
I'm pretty sure there will be. There's always something that happens. Can you tell me, like, what do you guys have planned so far for the convention? Like, what are the special guests? What are the events going to be happening at Decepticon?
Well, aside from the events, we did do a little bit of traditional. We did do a little something new, and we did something a little bit blue. So almost your wedding checklist. Something traditional, something old. We did do the pavilions, our artist showcase room. We are having our vendors pavilion. We are having video game tournaments there with prizes but not exclude, or that don't just include. We're giving away a 3DS. Yes, an actual 3DS. We're giving away, fingers crossed, a couple of tournament sticks for our Marvel vs. Capcom tournaments. We're giving out hopefully, anybody who doesn't have one already, a prestige edition of Call of Duty Black Ops. That's just for the video game tournament. Other than that, we're also having, we're having a masquerade tournament, masquerade contest. We're having a cosplay restaurant, not a maid cafe, but an actual restaurant. You go down there, sit down, order a meal, and you actually have somebody in cosplay come up and talk to you and just start carrying on a conversation with you. Other than that, we're having car shows all day, all provided by Jazel.
Yeah.
And who else do we have again?
Okay, so for the kind of the special events outside of the norm, there's going to be an RC drift track competition, 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, it's going to be the warm-up, and it's a huge track that's going to be at the con. And then on Sunday, it's going to actually be the competition, and it's a big competition that happens in Sacramento and lots of Northern California. We're going to have a surprise flash mob. That's all I'm saying. It will happen one of the days. You've got to come out. As you roll into the Red Lion Inn, we are going to have a Japan Tsunami Relief Fund car show with lots of exotic cars. You're going to see Lamborghinis there. You're going to see Ferraris, Porsches. You're going to see lots of imports as you roll through. So what else are we having?
Aside from that, like Jazel briefly touched on the Japan Tsunami Relief fundraiser, we'll be having a dinner on the eve of the 15th, where people will be able to come on in, pay for for a plate, and at the same time we'll be having a silent auction. That silent auction is going to have many products donated from our artists, our vendors, even our special guests that will carry on throughout the entire convention itself, and the proceeds themselves will be going to the Red Cross Foundation to the relief in Japan.
Yeah, 100% of the proceeds from the silent auction.
Correct. 100% of the proceeds will be going to the Red Cross. Other than that, well, of course, we're all waiting to see what our guests are. We do have two big names that will be coming through, and we're just trying to finalize and make sure that we solidify all the right words to go with it. Other than that, Christopher Smith will be showing up. He's a wonderful voice actor. He's done voices from Gurren Lagann. He's done, help me with this last one, Durara.
Oh, yeah, Durara, yeah.
Yes, he's done the voices in there. He's done Bleach. He's done Ghost in the Shell. The list goes on and on. Mike Pizzella will be showcasing too. Mike, oh gosh, you're gonna have to forgive me. There's a couple of individuals that that were a part of the Futurama show.
Nice, awesome.
We've done the comic book works, and they'll be attending the show also. We're going to be having them as our guests during the dinner. So anything the autograph sessions that will be provided to all people who attend the dinner itself, and that will be on Friday, the 15th, on that evening before the convention itself. I mean, those are just a few things that we'll be hosting. I mean, we're in negotiations, and I'm pretty sure I can say this, that we're in negotiations with a certain Mortal Kombat villain that hopefully, fingers crossed, will show up, and fingers crossed also for Miss Karen Dyer. And all those things go according to plan will be just some of the people that you'll see at the convention.
Oh shit! Wait, the Mortal Kombat villain. Is the person voice actor? Is it from the game that's coming out this year?
Oh no!
It's from the movie.
Oh, from the movie. Oh, okay. Awesome.
So, yeah.
Cool.
If you could think of any particular villain that was in Mortal Kombat, you just might see him there.
Awesome. No, the funny thing is like, I'm like probably the minority here that says like the original Mortal Kombat movies were awesome, even though I would look back and they're cheesy as hell. But wow, that is awesome. I mean, like already like this convention, it's just sounding better by the minute. What?
You're gonna show up, right?
It's got me speechless, man.
Yeah, we also are going to have a really great vendor out there who will be, you'll be able to win sneak screen passes to Thor.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hangover 2 and Kung Fu Panda 2. So they're going to be sit out throughout the convention, and you can win a free screening to Thor. So that's going to be pretty sick, dude.
Oh, that is awesome. What are the prices right now for the hotel and badges out there?
If you want a weekend pass to the event, it's a simple $20. That's all it is. If you want to come out one day on Saturday, just $15. If you want to come out Sunday, it's only $10. So pretty much, if you end up getting a weekend pass, you save yourself $5 and just put out the 20, and you're set for the whole event. Now, if you're looking to get a hotel room, which we strongly recommend because there's just going to be so many things going on there, the room rates right now are astoundingly only $65. So if you can imagine splitting a room with your buddies, that's like, okay, $30 a piece, $32 a piece.
Okay, and it's cheaper than Orbitz.
And it's a lot cheaper than Orbitz.
It's cheaper than everything online.
Correct.
Awesome. Like $65 compared to other hotel rooms, especially for bigger conventions. This is probably the cheapest I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, obviously, so much better.
Oh yes, definitely. Last question. Well, actually, last two questions. I think you've already said this before, but what's motivating you guys to work on this convention to pull this off? Like, what's really like the meat and grind of this this convention that you're just so amped up to do? Like, what is the motivation in all of it?
Change. For me personally, change. We want to change something that a lot of people might not think is broken, but like Luis and I, we're older and we see a need that needs to be fulfilled. So we're attacking that like no other. I mean,
it's pretty similar to what Hazel said. It hasn't been done before. I mean, we are a different generation where a traditional convention is nice and all when you're a certain age, but there does come a time where, with all that experience that you've come across, that you do hunger for something a little bit more, a little bit different. And when that hunger is not provided to you, you starve, and you start eating yourself from the inside. And what we want to do is provide that nourishment that not only Sacramento, but California and the entire world craves. And we're going to do that. We're going to give you that nourishment that you crave for, that you've been craving for, and so that you will never forget what that empty feeling is like. You will never be hungry again. That's the fulfillment that drives us to do what we are going to do.
And I can agree a lot more, because honestly, as a college student who loves cosplays and who loves anime, the conventions that I go to, like, they're cool to go to, but like there isn't something geared towards our generation or our age. It's like majority of the conventions I go to are geared towards the younger crowd. So seeing this type of convention being made, it's finally speaks to us. Like, seriously, like we this is the convention that that hey, we like to go and hang out and have a beer at.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. All the conventions that are out there that cater to a certain age, that's fine and all. There's nothing wrong with it. But you gotta broaden yourself that much more to make sure that no one is forgotten. I mean, just like this is American, but Ohana. And Ohana was used in what movie? Lilo and Stitch. Ohana means family. Nobody gets left behind or forgotten. And that's just the American part that we're going to provide for here, for this fusion of Japanese and American pop culture.
Awesome. Where can people find more information if they want to find out more about Decepticon?
You can actually pretty much find us online at either Decepticon.com, it's Decepta-Kon.com, or they can even find some information on the Team Love Hate website, which is teamlovehate.com. Both of our sites are linked to each other, so you'll be able to find information on either one of those sites. And new information is continuously being put up daily, so be sure to check in as often as you can. We have a Facebook out there. Just search Decepticon Convention on the Facebook. You can also do Team Love Hate Forever on Facebook, and I believe we can even find us even on Twitter. Just type in Decepticon 2011 on Decepticon on Twitter. That's pretty much it.
And I hear that if you find these certain posters you guys are posting over the city, that you'll get in for free.
Oh, yes. The flyers, yes. We've turned something that was old and made it into new again. So if you find all three versions of our flyers, there's an Autobot, there's a Decepticon, and there's a Unicron one, you'll get free entrance to the entire show. How do you find these flyers? You got to go hunting for them. Check out your comic stores, check out your video stores, your gaming stores, your collectibles, music stores. Check out everything pop culture pretty much. If you go to a place that does not have one of our flyers, have them call us or email us. If they get flyers from us, whoever contacted us, you will get 2 of the 3 flyers.
Yeah. And follow what we do on the website.
Yes.
We're always out and about.
Yes.
And you'll usually know where we're going to be at. So if you find us and hunt us down,
yeah,
you're more than likely that we'll kick you back if you find us. So
yes,
that's a big deal.
Correct.
We're everywhere.
Yes, you won't be able to miss our vehicles by far. You will not be able to miss our vehicles.
Trust me, folks. I know what they're talking about. Those vehicles, you'll see it when you see it. All right, you guys. I want to say thank you for taking the time to do this interview with us. It's been great. The convention sounds awesome. It sounds like everything that we wish for. This is coming out to be possibly the greatest anime convention of the year. So thank you guys again. Guys are great.
Yeah, do they have award shows for cons or no?
No.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be.
That may be on the next project. We'll start having award shows for best conventions in the U.S. or the world.
Yeah. That would sound great.
Yeah, if anybody starts that, you heard it here first. All right, just kick us in a little bit, cut us in, and you can have that.
Nice.
We'll do that tonight. We'll go buy the what do you say, URL? Yeah, we'll go buy that tonight.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Anthony.
All right.
I remember the time when, and as a cosplayer myself, like I know how it's like to work on cosplays late at night and staying up, and even at times where we work on cosplays I injure myself. Hardcore cosplayers can attest to that. But whenever every anime convention I went to, they always had a story to take out of, especially at Fanime. The funny, one of those stories I'll tell. Okay, I believe it was my first time going to Fanime. I was dressed as Naruto, like the pre-time shipped series now. I was I think 15 at the time. And so anyways, I'm in the game room. It was during a Battlefield 2 tournament, and my friends were they had the whole group kind of gathered in one area, and they announced the team name and the team members one at a time. So I was the first to represent our team, and I was standing right in front of everybody. So anyways, I'm standing there, and I'm waiting for my other team members, my friends, to be announced to join my team. And I'm standing there in the middle of the game room. Given the fact that I'm just standing there and not oblivious to what's going around me, and then suddenly, just out of nowhere, these 4 girls just ram me, and now what you're thinking? They just come up and they glomp me at the same time. And my first thought was like, awesome, yes, cool. And then, like, one of them smelled, and I was like, yeah, but like, oh, like, it was like the stench just slapped me in the face. And man, like it the first thing that went to my mind is like, that is like, that's awesome. I got hugged by a bunch of girls at the same time, but damn, one of them smelled. And then they said, like, you used to get hugged by something cosplay, and I was like, thanks. And then they left. But man, that was just one of those moments where, like, I was thinking, like, man, I just wish that one of those girls didn't smell as bad, so it would have been that bad. And then ironically, we went on to win at least one round in the Battlefield 2 tournament, which it started out where I was on one team while I was supposed to, and I switched over and we won the game. But that's another story for another time. But yeah, I mean, like, there's always, for me, cosplaying that Fanime, it's always been such a great time meeting new people and cosplaying as different characters. I build up to really kind of big reveal at Fanime. And then for me, like, going to Fanime, like, it's always an awesome thing to go to. It's like building up your team for the Super Bowl. Or in my aspect, is building up my costumes for Fanime, the big show, I would like to say it. and showing up, what hard work I've done, and kind of showing up, telling people how I did it, really kind of makes me proud. Even though the cosplay may not be the best, I still take some pride into making it myself and wearing it, which you can't say for many people who actually make their costumes like from scratch into something that looks pretty awesome. Sometimes, as a person looking from the outside, looking in at the cosplay event that happens in whatever city that might be, the question always comes up: why are you guys in costume? What's going on? And the usual answer is, there's an anime convention in town. And then from there, we explain exactly what it is. From the outside looking in, people just kind of find us weird, or kind of just not sure what to make it out of it. But some people find us very interesting and observe us. Like some of these interesting people. One of them, a now director of a movie called The Other Me, or as I bring it up, saying, yeah, My Other Me, a film about cosplayers. It's a documentary that explains 3 experiences of early cosplayers. One being a cosplayer who was going from a boy to a girl in the midst of its transformation. One cosplayer who was very experienced and very well done in her work. And then also a cosplayer of her first time going, experiencing new things that she had never done before. Anyways, I had the time to interview the director of this movie, and what came out of it was great. And his work, as far as what he's trying to do with what direction he's headed toward, well, here, listen for yourself.
Hello.
Hey Josh, it's me, Anthony.
Hi, Anthony. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Cool. I just want to ask you some questions about the movie you guys are making.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. First question. Actually, first I'm going to say thank you for taking the time to talk to us about this movie. I know you guys are busy, but from what I've seen so far, you guys are doing some great work out there.
Thanks very much.
The first question I want to ask is, how did you guys come about making a documentary about cosplayers?
Well, it was the summer of 2009, and I live relatively close to the Vancouver Convention Center. And I was walking around with my dog one day, and I saw a bunch of cosplayers and thought, wow, what are they doing? Because I'd always kind of known about cosplaying, but kind of in the periphery, never, examined it up close. And I recognized a couple of characters from, like, Final Fantasy, and I think there was even, like, a Super Mario Brothers or something. So I immediately recognized what they were doing, but didn't really know anything about it. So I followed a couple of them and found that there was this big convention going on, and I was just, like, right there and then just completely, like, captured with their world.
Nice. I mean, as a cosplayer myself, I know exactly how that feels, because when going into cosplaying, like, for the first time, you don't know exactly what you get into until you see, like, everybody in cosplay at a big convention, and then it really hits you right then and there.
Right. It was pretty stunning. I mean, just looking at it as an outsider, I was just stunned by the amount of creativity and work it obviously took for a lot of these costumes. And so I just was immediately impressed by the kind of person that would take that kind of time and dedication to do something like that.
Yeah, awesome. Do you have any friends that are cosplayers?
No, actually I don't. Yeah, I've honestly, just seeing them that first time back in the summer of 2009, it really made me question what it was all about and kind of delve into it a little bit more and start looking at websites. And I knew then, I was actually in the middle of working on my first documentary at the time, but I knew then that was going to be my next project.
Awesome, awesome. What was the motivation, aside from discovering this new kind of subculture of cosplayers in the anime realm? But what was the kind of motivation to keep you making this movie?
I love documentaries, one, So just the idea of being able to make another documentary is fantastic, and that kind of drives me to do everything. And I'm just finding as I delve further into the cosplay culture that it's so multi-layered. It's not just on surface what you see, quote unquote geeks playing around in costumes. It's just there's so much more.
Yeah, I definitely hear you. What are you going to try to accomplish when this movie is completed? What is your overall objective for people to see when it's finally done?
Right. Well, I can tell you this. I'm definitely not trying to make like a history of cosplaying. And the title alone, the kind of subtitle to My Other Me is a film about cosplayers. So I want it to be about the people who cosplay and not so much about cosplay itself. So at the end of the day, I'm hoping that the three characters that we've decided to follow for the next year are interesting enough that that's what makes you want to watch, is not so much that it's going to tell you and describe what cosplay is and give you tips on how to do things, but it's going to show you three cosplayers' lives.
That is a great idea, because like showing an experience of three different type of cosplayers instead of a kind of explanation and kind of mundane kind of storytelling that other documentaries would do. Showing the experiences of what each cosplayer would be is perfect. It's great.
Right. It's like I want to show out what's their life like outside of cosplay. What's the difference between those two lives? How much of a difference is there between those two lives? So, and I think that the three main characters that we found to follow are each unique enough that you'll get a varied kind of feeling for the cosplay world because of them.
Right, I hear you. What are the characters' names? And maybe like a little backstory to each of them.
Well, the first one is Lucas, and his deviant art name is Twin Fools. He's pretty well known. He's actually a transitioning female to male, and he's already undergone some surgery and has been on testosterone treatment for nearly a year now. So he's not only like a big-time cosplayer, but he's undergoing a pretty major life change at the moment.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing, and he's one of the most positive guys that I've ever met. I don't think I've ever seen him depressed or heard him utter a disparaging word, honestly.
Wow, that is awesome. Wow, I didn't. I mean that's pretty cool that you're doing that with him, and I'm pretty sure that the person's really cool with all this.
Yeah, oh no, he's amazing. He's very open about what he's going through. He has a couple of different YouTube channels where he's kind of a spokesperson for, they're called FTMs. He's kind of a spokesperson for FTMs here in the Vancouver, Canada area.
Wow, awesome.
So yeah, he's completely open with this, and he's currently living with his fiancée. They're getting married later this year. There's a lot of stuff going on in his life right now, and we'll be documenting all of it.
Awesome, sweet.
So he's kind of our main character. Our second character is Danae. Her deviant art account is called Rifa, and she's just an absolutely unbelievable costume maker, and she's been cosplaying for, like 7 years now. And she's won awards for best costume at a anime convention here in Vancouver, and she even won a scholarship based on that costume to a design college, and so she's just an unbelievable costumer. And she's striving to be that as her occupation in the film industry is a costumer.
Nice.
So she's kind of she's taken what she's done as a hobby, and all of a sudden it's becoming her career.
Right, definitely. I could totally see that being a career in the film industry, especially with different costumes you're going to see out there, like especially for the Marvel films that are coming out recently and other big budget films. But yeah, it fits right in.
I mean, honestly, anything that needs a costumer, these kids that grow up cosplaying and sewing and having just the creativity to pull off some of these anime and manga looks is just, I mean, that gives you a foot up over anyone who's gone to like technical colleges for costuming, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
So yeah, and then our final person that we're following, her name is Lily. She's only 14 years old. She's got a DeviantArt account. Her name is Secret Attire there, and she's kind of our newbie that we're following. She's only been to 2 or 3 conventions now, and she's only made 1 or 2 of her own costumes, and so we're kind of showing the spectrum.
Wow, awesome. That's cool. I've been there. Like, the first times of going to big places can be scary at first, but after a while, you get used to, and you have fun with it. But that's cool. It's awesome.
Right, and you're definitely, from what I've seen so far, we've only been to 1 convention where we filmed with her. You can definitely see her coming out of her shell. It's really amazing. Like, she only knew 1 person at the convention that we went to, and she left with like 20 new friends.
Awesome.
And you could see the transformation. You could see on day 1 that she was pretty terrified. And it's a small convention. There was only about 800 people total for the whole weekend. And you could see that she was kind of terrified at the beginning, but by the end of it, I mean, she was just chumming with people. And, you know what I mean? It was really incredible to watch her transformation.
Awesome. That's such a good thing to hear.
Right, and that's my thing, is I want to make this a positive story. I'm not here to condemn cosplayers in any way, shape, or form. I'm not about making films that pass any kind of judgment in any way, but I want to make this, I definitely don't want to make this anything negative at all, because I love the community, and I think the creativity is above everything else.
Definitely. What are some of the challenges you guys had to face so far in making this film?
So far, it's just been money. It's basically been me and 2 other producers, out-of-pocket cash, basically. We have a Indiegogo page up currently, which is a way to try and do a little bit of fundraising, and it's going slowly but surely. And other than monetary, I'm trying to think if there's been any difficulties. Wow, that's a good question. Really, other than finding our newbie cosplayer, which took us longer than I expected, it's been money.
Wow.
Luckily, I know a lot of great people who know a lot of other great people who are really into the idea of this project and have contributed time and gear, and it's been really great the way that the people that I know around me have lent a hand for this project.
All the stuff you put out there is really great. I think that what you're putting out there to show to the fans really, it's really positive, and it's really kind of getting people to get to notice this film more and more. Speaking of which, or go ahead.
I was just going to say, we're trying to, in a way, kind of build a community around the film. We want to show that, we're maybe we're not cosplayers directly, the people making the film, but we want to create kind of a place where everyone can get together and enjoy it. And luckily, one of our producers is a cosplayer, so she's really been kind of guiding this thing for us in that sense.
Awesome. And to follow up, what are how are the fans have been reacting so far to what you put out there so far?
Everything's been 100% positive so far. 100%. I cannot believe the reaction, honestly. It's like, it's night and day compared to my first documentary, which was, it was about a much darker and, more ugly subject. It was about drug addicts that live in the Vancouver area, and,
Right.
So it wasn't primed to have a lot of people going crazy about, seeing clips of drug addicts.
Right. So, right. I'm pretty sure nobody was hyped up to see somebody on drugs.
Project, which had, I think, 85 fans, like the Facebook page, to, nearly 1,800 fans on this Facebook page.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's been night and day. It's been a lot of fun.
Sweet. So far in your filming, has there been any funny stories while you guys have been filming so far?
I don't know about anything particularly. We try and post all the goofy stuff that we can, honestly. So any of the goofiness that's happened, I try to put up online. Nothing that comes to mind that's especially silly behind the scenes. No.
Cool.
I wish I had something juicy for you, but I don't.
I'm pretty sure maybe after the movie there might be some story that might come out of it.
Yeah. Give us a little bit more time. We've really only just started filming. The SukinoCon back in February in Victoria was really the beginning of us filming for this project.
Wow. Right, right.
So that trailer is definitely served its purpose, and I'm actually going to be cutting a new trailer after we're done with our next con, which is the Sakura Con at the end of April.
Nice, awesome. Have you guys lined up a specific number of conventions to go to, or are you hitting up maybe just a few as far as what your plans are going to be?
Well, when we were first deciding what conventions to do, and then we came to the realization that we wanted it to be about following certain people, we decided to kind of let the conventions they go to determine what we do.
Okay.
So because we're based in Vancouver, most of the stuff we do is going to be local to us. Seattle's only like a 2.5-hour drive for us. So, and all three of the cosplayers that we're following, we're planning to go to SakuraCon this year, so we're going to hit SakuraCon. There was a convention here in August that got canceled. It was the Anime Evolution Convention, and I don't know what happened to them, but they ended up canceling. But there's a new one starting up in its place called Cause and Effect, which is COS instead of, the normal way to spell cause. And we'll be attending that. It's going to be a relatively small and brand new fest. And then in November, I believe, is AkiCon, which is also in Washington, but I think it's Bellevue, Washington.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
So, and I'm still not sure if we're going to continue all the way like a full 1-year cycle and do TsukimaCon again in February 2012. We're not sure yet.
That's cool. I mean, like, it does take a lot of money to go to these conventions, and especially for people like me, like, there's so much to budget, especially if you're a college student. Like, there's so much to take care of. I can understand that. How, with the money that you guys are receiving, how are you going about, like, helping out with each cosplayer to get to convention? Are you providing, like, money for them to go, or like, how is that working out for you guys?
Yeah, we're all the money we receive basically goes directly into the production of the film. So it's like gas and lodging and food and all that kind of stuff. And we do compensate the 3 cosplayers that we're following for their tickets to the cons, because it's kind of like our way of saying thanks for letting us kind of be on your shoulder all day long.
Right, right.
The other thing is that we're doing for the cosplayers is we're doing like a normal like film industry per diem for them, so they get like, I think it's $30 or $40 per day for food.
Awesome, sweet. I wish
It's really the least we could do. I wish that there was a lot more that we could do, but just we really have no budget, and going to Seattle is going to cost us quite a bit.
Oh yeah, definitely will. Where can people go to find more information about your movie?
All of the information is best found on our Facebook fan page, and then any of the links that kind of base off of that or bounce off of that. We're going to be completely redoing our website. We kind of threw that up as a afterthought, honestly, and we need to completely redo our website. It's pretty amateurish looking. But best for now is find us on Facebook, and we post everything we're doing on there, and it has links to our YouTube page where we post goofy videos and outtakes, and yeah, that's definitely the best way.
Sweet. And if you're a fan and you want to help out somehow, how can they help you guys out?
Well, right now the best way is to go to indiegogo.com and search for the film by the name My Other Me, and you can contribute there, and any dollar amount helps. You don't have to be scared away by what the dollar amount says on the sidebar, because I think it's like preset to $100. Whenever you hit the contribute button, it takes you to another page where you can set the dollar amount to whatever you want to contribute.
Sweet. Awesome. Well,
So if you contribute there right now, that helps us tremendously. And like I said before, none of this is going in anyone's pockets. It's all for food, gas, lodging, and gear.
yes, you hear that, fans? Donate your monies.
Yeah, please. If you can, please do.
Well, I'd say thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I'm honestly, I'm really excited for the film. I was like so excited when I first saw the trailer, and it was great to finally see a documentary about cosplayers and our subculture. With that in mind, thanks again. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, not a problem.
Are we going to see you at any fests? Are you local to any of the fests we go to?
I'm in California, so majority of the conventions I go to are in California. Yeah. I have I have a friend that goes, outside, but I'm here in California majority. But hey, you never know.
Have you ever been to the Comic-Con?
I have.
The one that happens in San Diego, I believe.
I want to go. I want to go to it. Comic Con's one of the.
It's a pretty crazy big one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Comic Con is huge. I definitely want to go to Comic Con one day, but I'm stuck with just a few for now, and then eventually, I'll get there.
Right on, right on.
Cool. All right. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, thank you again, Anthony, for taking the time to call me.
Oh, not a problem. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye now.
So you can see cosplaying can be taken many aspects of life, whether it be in a movie or, experiencing a convention for the first time, or just stories that happen to, people take away from at every convention they gone to. Cosplayers, they do the work that they love to do. They love to make costumes that they love to portray their characters as. And people from outside look at us and say, either it'd be cool or that's a little weird. Of course, with every cosplayer, there's always some aspect of the person who has to keep a level of control, or else they'll look like a dumbass. But that's another time, and we all have those stories of idiots running around the convention trying to act like their character fully 100%. But anyways, thank you for taking the time to listen to this special podcast. You describe us on iTunes. I mean, we don't have much for now, and I'm pretty sure we won't have anything maybe till summer. But yeah, if you want us to or old podcast, if you want to just kind of see how we became who we are today, you can subscribe to us on iTunes. Look up Mission Start on iTunes or Mission Start Podcast, and you'll find us on the link through our website. You can follow me on Twitter at the Fifth of Naruto. And if you enjoy this type of things, let us know. I mean, I didn't mind doing this because I been wanting to do something like this for a while, and especially with the podcast kind of low on a few things. So just let us know. Like, if you like this type of stuff, let us know. But anyways, thanks for taking the time, newcomers and people who are still happen to still listen. But I'm pretty sure majority of you are just gonna be newcomers to the show. So, all right. This is Anthony Be Honest, signing off.